it's Budget Bunny here, and today's video is going to be a guinea pig cage tour. This was highly requested, and as well I do get a lot of requests for cage tours, so I thought what I would start doing is monthly cage tours. The only pet that I won't be doing a cage tour on monthly will be Ella, as she gets very nervous when her cage changes around, so it doesn't change very much. I do have a cage tour from June or July, I think, of her cage, so if you're interested on what our Ferrettown cage looks like, you can find that in my videos. But other than that, the guinea pigs, rabbits, and hamster are going to have monthly cage tours. So I'm going to start with the guinea pigs, and they have a 2x5 cage. And we actually used coroplast as the base, but the sides are all plexiglass. I do have a video on how we built this. I think it's called New Guinea Pig Cage Design, February 2013. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave the link in the down bar. Sorry, you will see little white spots on the plexiglass. That is because when I had decorated my spring and summer theme, I had put these little butterflies that didn't have much of a sticker on the back, so I thought that they'd be okay. But I guess because they were on there so long, when I pulled them off, the sticky part is still there. So I'm going to have to get, you can make like homemade safe Goo Gone out of baking soda and olive oil, I think it is, so I'm going to have to try something like that to get it off. But I will be doing a new theme soon, so stay tuned for that. And maybe even I'll just find some new stickers that actually can just go over top of those. So yes, it's a 2x5, and then up top here we do have a 2x2 little area. That's where their hay is, and then up top we have a 1x3 and then a 1x2 kind of section there. So they've got pretty much a full good 2 levels to hang out in. And right now the guinea pigs are actually enjoying some of their veggies. Oh, that was so cute. I don't know if you could tell, but Sammy put his paw on the veggie ball and was actually pulling things out of it. Okay, so in the right hand corner of their cage they have a tree trunk toy. I believe that was a super pet item. They have a fishy that they love to go in and out of. If you watched my FAQ video with the guinea pigs, you would have seen it in there, and they love to run inside and run out of it, and there's a bell inside too, which is really cute. I bought this on eBay from Ferrettown. Next they just have this hanging chew sisal toy that I actually purchased from the dollar store. On the bottom of their cage they have this wooden roller toy, which they absolutely love. As you can see here, it's been chewed over pretty good. I believe Animal Mag Kate had sent this when we did our trade a long time ago, and as you can see, it's a big hit. In the back here they do have a food dish and a wooden kebab chew. When I purchased their veggie kebabs, they all came with chew toys on them, so some of them I just put around the cage, and other ones I actually have kind of remade into different toys. In the back here you can see we have 3 Super Pet water bottles. We also have a veggie ball, which the guinea pigs are really enjoying right now. And this one here was actually a bird feeder. So when Zellers was closing last year, they had everything in their store went down to about 80 or 90% off. So I think I got this for about 50 cents, but it's just one of those bird feeders you put suet in. The grids are actually smaller than the grids that you use for the cage, so they're perfectly safe for them, and it provides a little more enrichment as they have to figure out how to get the veggies out of there. We also have this, I believe it was a Living World raffia nibbler, and it's raffia and corn husk, I believe, but they really like this too. You can see it's been chewed on, and actually I find the guinea pigs sometimes playing with it, which is really cute as well. And just right here we have another food dish. The boys both have their own separate food dishes just so that they don't fight over them. And in behind here is just the ramp that goes up to the second floor. Okay, so in the back part of their cage, this is the back left corner. This is actually where they love to poop. I don't know, I guess it's because it's the darkest corner. It is a little lower on this side. So in the back corner I do have a bed because they also love to sleep there. So I do have a bed. I actually made that bed, and underneath there I've just got an absorbent pad from Giant Tiger. I really like these. I've been making some of my own as well, but I really like these because they're good at absorbing any wetness and kind of holding it in there. And then what I do is a couple times a week I just change those out. So I've got 2 of those. I've got one in another problem area as well. And they've also got this really nice fleecy, I think it was like polar fleece, this blanket right here. So I put this in because it has really started cooling down in the evenings, and I've noticed sometimes they hang out on their beds, but they also really like to lay and spread out under this ladder here. So I've just put that there just so that it's extra snuggly and warm, and I had purchased a couple of them so I can swap them out when they get kind of yucky. And in the back corner here I've also got a snuggle sack that I've made as well. Sammy loves to sleep in these. It's so adorable. Are you boys enjoying your veggies? You're so cute. Okay, so this is the hay area, and this is actually where the ramp leads up to. So in this section is mostly some fleece blankets. I do have another one of those pads right here, just because they do tend to poop a lot here because their hay sack is right here. And this is something new that I've been trying out for the last maybe couple weeks or a month. So what it actually is a hay bag that holds your hay instead of using a hay rack or a bent grid. What I was finding with the bent grid was that Finny loved to jump in it no matter how high up it was. And I was a little worried about what was going to happen to Piggy legs and paws by jumping in and out of it because it has grids. The other thing is I always felt like I was filling it up, and obviously you want to make sure that you have fresh hay all the time and that the hay is fresh, but every time I come in here the hay would be empty. So what I came up with was this hay sack, and I'm actually really liking it. I think I want to make it a little bit taller, but we've just put grommets in the corners so that I could hang it with hooks off the cage. Now the only reason that I've got 2 hooks right here, don't know if you can see, but there's 1 and then 2, is because we had put plexiglass up on this area for the pre-existing hay rack. So because the hooks wouldn't fit through the holes that we had drilled for the old hay rack, I just had to use 2 pairs of hooks so that I could hang it from the top, which wasn't a big deal. And what I've done is actually put 2 holes on each end, and that's what they eat out of. And I've noticed they haven't chewed the material at all. They stick to the holes. These holes are big enough for the guinea pigs to get in, so I do tend to notice if it gets a little lower in hay that Finny will jump in. But the nice thing about that is there's kind of an entrance and an exit if he does that. And it's also not going to hurt him because it's all just material on the inside, instead of him jumping into a hay rack that has grids that he could get his feet stuck into. I also find it quite a bit cleaner because it's only got the 2 holes for them to eat it from, and also because all I do is I just unhook the bag when it gets low and bring it over to my big container full of hay and then fill it up over top of that, so there's no extra mess around the cage. So I'm really liking it. It is something I'm going to be selling in the shop, but I just have to get the dimensions right. So the other thing that I've got here is just one of those fiddlesticks logs, I believe. I've just put this here because I wanted something else up in this area, but I didn't want a bed I thought that a bed with the hay rack would just mean that hay would get all over it and they wouldn't really use it. So Sammy, I've actually caught him sleeping under here a few times because there's a towel and then a couple fleeces right here. So I guess he likes it because it's pretty cozy. And I've just kept it on the inside of this grid here, as I was kind of scared that he might try to jump over it if I had it too close to the lower ledge right here. And finally up top, so you can see there's the plexiglass. These are the little sticker bits I was talking about, so please ignore those. Now the only thing I find with the plexiglass is that when I wipe it down, because I just use water to wipe it down, it does get a little bit smudgy looking, but I'm too scared to use something like Windex on it. Pet Cleaner does the exact same, like if you buy the pet friendly sprays for cages. It does the exact same, but I'm kind of scared to use something like Windex because they do once in a while chew on the top of it, and I wouldn't want them to ingest any of the chemicals from the Windex, so it's not a big deal. I still really like the way this cage turned out, and I think the plexiglass sides are great because it's more open. I can see the pigs, especially since the guinea pig cage is on top of the rabbit cage, but also especially up on this level, now I can see them, which was great, because when it was black coroplast before, you couldn't see them at all when they were up here. So I really like how this cage turned out. It's holding up really nice. The plexiglass is definitely more durable than coroplast because they could chew the tops of the coroplast and wear it down. So that's why I really like this. So this is their Army Print Duo Tunnel. I wonder if we can see. Sam. Hi buddy, what you doing? This is another product I got off Ferrettown on eBay. Of course, most of their products are geared towards ferrets, but a lot of them can work for guinea pigs as well. And I was really happy with them. Their pricing was great. Their shipping wasn't too much. They're based out of the US, and everything arrived to us really quickly and in good condition. So if you're looking for some unique and fun guinea pig toys, I definitely suggest Ferrettown. And then in the back corner here, they just have a pig glue that they also like to hang out in. And I've got like a little potty pad that I made underneath the igloo as well that I just swap out because they tend to like to pee and poop in these little hidey areas. So the other thing that you will notice about my cage is that I do use fleece, and I just put towels underneath. Those problem areas I do use the lap pads that I make, or these pads that I had pre-existing from Giant Tiger that I really like. They have good absorbency. The only time these guys are on shavings is when we're going on vacation, because it is quite a bit more work to have to use fleece. I actually use the shop vac to keep the cage clean, and I shop vac first thing in the morning when I get up, and again in the evening before I go to sleep, just to kind of keep it nice and clean, because they do tend to pee a lot, and fleece does tend to smell a little quicker. So again, those problem areas, I change those out probably 2 or 3 times a week, and I do a full cage clean once a week. So here's one last look at their cage. They've got lots of space. Boys you kind of tend to need to give more space to as well, because they do tend to squabble a little more than girls. It's definitely harder to bond boys. So I wanted to give them, I couldn't go any wider. I have heard a wider cage is a little better for boys, but I just wasn't able to do that because it had to be built on top of our rabbit's cage. So because I couldn't go wider, I did the full length of the rabbit's cage and then added the second level there. So they get along pretty well though, but yeah, that's their cage. So that is my guinea pig cage, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more September cage tours. Bye bye!